Welcome back to the Cowboys post-game show. The Cowboys beat the Giants 31-20, and it's another remarkable game for the new Captain America, Tony Romo, with a big game today, and congratulations. This was a game where it looked like you had to make some plays because we thought the Giants would give you their best game, and it looked like that they did. What did it feel like? What did you see?
That's a great football team, and I think we took a lot of shots, maybe their best shot today as far as them playing pretty well, and it was just exciting to come out of here with a win. And I think that team over there is a great football team, and we're fortunate.
Why were those two deep plays to Owens available in the second half, not in the first?
Yeah, because we kind of set him up with some other things. Throughout the game we kept throwing these comeback type routes and kind of getting them to, and they started to hang on him a little bit. So they started to believe that you really can't shut both down with him. Either you're going to take away the underneath stuff or the over the top. You can't really take away both.
And usually you get done with the game, Tony, and you're all smiles and you're fresh, and you look a little like you've been through a game today. Most times you look like you don't. It's a little tougher than normal?
They're a good football team. It's not easy to get in the end zone against that team, and that front four is outstanding. So, like I said, it's an exciting feeling right now to win.
How about the drive right before the half? You guys had 2 timeouts. You only used one of them. You down 6 of 6 on the drive. Gave you a lot of momentum, I thought.
We're a pretty good 2-minute team.
Yeah.
I think I'm always trying to start the game in 2 minutes.
Right.
But
well, you got it in against Minnesota, right?
That wasn't 2 minutes. That was no huddle. But if we ever went 2 minutes, I'd be ecstatic. But who knows? We'd probably turn it over then, and that'd be the end of my career with the 2 minutes.
Well, you know what it is. If you're out there calling the plays, Jason Garrett can't be the genius behind the whole thing. That's why he doesn't let you do it.
That's a good call. Good call. You know him better than everybody.
Yeah. I'm on to that guy.
Hey, talk to us about your offensive line a little bit. You were sacked twice tonight, but not in the second half, and it looked from upstairs like they were doing an awfully good job of giving you time to make plays.
The O-line did a great job. Really, it was only 1 sack. The second sack, on the stat sheet is a running play that we kind of had miscommunication on. So we really only got sacked once tonight, and against that team, that's an outstanding stat.
And how about Tony Curtis? He's becoming your Mike Vrabel. Every time he catches it, he's in the end zone.
Keep catching it.
Yeah. He was open. I think they blew the coverage. You had Jason Witten coming, and I didn't know if you'd ever get to find him because you had to elude a defender yourself, and then last minute you caught him out of the corner of your eye. Was he yelling at you, or how'd you actually find him?
I just, the funny thing is I was about to go down, I think, and slide, and then all of a sudden out of the corner of my eye, you just see him, and you just hope he threw it in the right spot.
Does that get you into trouble occasionally, though? Because you may see him out of the corner of your eye, but you may not see the defender who's there. Now, there wasn't in that case.
No, it doesn't get me in trouble.
Okay, it didn't this time.
I know you got a bunch of people waiting for you. I got to ask you one time, really to see that was tongue-in-cheek. Did you see the little quarterback-to-quarterback thing there?
You don't see what I see, Brad.
What'd they do to take Witten out of the passing game?
The coverages they play they're not really double coverages. I think we had to keep Witten in to block a little more tonight to protect in some situations, and other than that, though, they pressured us a lot, and Jason, a lot of the time, he's either blocking or his routes are down the field sometimes, so you got to get to somebody else.
All right, I know you got people waiting. Thank you. We appreciate the time. Thank you very much. Our producer is going frantically. No, there's too much time left, but you see, there's people waiting for him, so we're just going to visit for a minute about what this does with the position.
Wait a minute. You'd rather talk to me than talk to Tony Romo?
Almost anybody. I'd rather talk to you than almost anybody.
You only had 3.5 hours with me.
And didn't get enough.
Yeah.
Never get enough. So here they are. Here the Cowboys are 8-1. And effectively a 3-game lead on the New York Giants. Washington lost today. That's their fourth loss. So you got a 3-game lead on Washington. And where does this put you? What's your mindset? I mean, you got a lot of confidence, obviously, for the Cowboys. But how do you prepare? How do you go forward?
Well, I think it's easy to go forward. Washington, obviously, divisional game at home, and they're still in it. What's interesting is I think effectively Dallas took Philadelphia out of the East race last week. I mean, things can happen. We know that. Effectively, they took them out. They effectively took out the Giants today because, in essence, it becomes a 3-game lead on the Giants. You can take Washington out.
Not out of the playoffs, but out of the division.
Out of the division, out of being the NFC East champs. You can take Washington out next week by beating them at home. Then you got a Jets team on Thanksgiving. And then, quite honestly, it's going to be pretty easy to get up for that Green Bay King.
Sure.
Because that should be, or very easily could be, for home field advantage throughout the playoffs in the NFC. Both teams right now with 1 loss.
Well, I know that you played early in your career. You played on a championship team in Washington?
Well, I watched them play, but yes, I had
but
a uniform.
You
I had a
had the uniform, you got a ring, you got an extra check, you got all this stuff.
It's all nice.
So for Dallas now, in this NFL, which is a little different than the league was when you came into it, but
because I was making $70,000 a year, but go ahead.
but not that anyone's obsessing about the money or anything, but
what's money?
do you start thinking we're still at mid-season?
Yeah.
Do you start thinking about buys and home field?
I think you do. I think that's your next objective, because at some point it looks like you may have that division in your back pocket, and then again, that Green Bay game, you hate to go ahead, but it's going to be a huge game at Texas Stadium.
Well, we know what's for sure, and that's the Redskins are up next, and Babe and I will be back. Hope you'll join us next week for the post-game show after the Cowboys take on Washington at Texas Stadium.